Welcome to this new now, September 16th, 09162024. I wanted to come on here and share about a couple things that have come up in the dream time and this rising, and maybe this will assist you where you're finding yourself now. So if you don't know me by now, I'm Elasa Tina Marie Tiernan. I am here to deliver any kind of gifts that are coming to me, any nuggets that give myself greater clarity and understandings as we move forward on this ascent, on the ascension into our heart and building out the new world. So the two main topics that I want to go over are parallel versions of yourself that may be holding you back from your full merger, from your moving forward, so your soul's progression, and the request of the star children connected to that. So if you are finding yourself circling around something today in this now moment, for those who find this page, typically you are already working on yourself. You already know about ascension. You already know that you're an eternal soul. And so if you don't know how to work on yourself, I will definitely drop some nuggets here. But mainly, this is for you finding this to tune into what you know that you want to move forward on. You know, if it's you living your true desire with a partner, with your career, with your path, with your financial situation, whatever it is, if you know that it's not at its next highest version, is there another parallel version of you that is beyond time? So we can still look at time in today's example of past or future, but we're really being asked to look at any parallel versions of ourselves. So how do even parallel versions happen? Typically a parallel version of yourself, first and foremost, there's so many versions of consciousness at large, who you really be, in all others. So you can see, 9 billion other souls as some other version dropping down into smaller packets of light of the Godhead, of Source. But when we start to get down into the individual soul and places where you actually you had like an or, you were not sure if you want to go left or right. And one version of you goes to the left while the other version goes right, or you make a choice and then you shift. Sometimes there's other fractals, and we understand that all is happening right now. There's other versions of you that could be having a lot more of your life force, a lot more of your energy, more than you find yourself here right now. And so as we start to open up our awareness to the eternal soul, to our quantum abilities, to places where we've already freed ourselves up and we have more mobility in our way of knowing that we create our reality from what we're focusing on and what our heart and mind is coherent on, we will find new levels of awareness of our soul in space time, not time space, but space time. Meaning, if all is happening at once in space, if it's all happening, it's like this is happening, but your focus is right here in the middle. So that's what you're perceiving. But when you look at these other two parallels, let's say a parallel that's seemingly in the future, but at a higher frequency, seemingly in the past, but at a lower frequency. And I'm right here in the middle. Okay. So if there is something in let's say you're working on finances, or you want to be moving forward at your next level of receiving so that you can do more giving, you can do more creations, and you're still playing with money. It's not just all, you are gifting out and things are being gifted back. If that's where you found yourself as you arrive here, awesome. Then maybe you want larger giftings or larger creations. But let's just speak to those who are still dealing with currencies and are enjoying it, are playing with it, because it is all stacked up light particles. That's what we really have to remember. We don't throw away the baby in the bathwater. Is something that Spirit said this morning about this topic for someone, but and let's delete that and upgrade that. We don't throw what we've gained and how the game is being played, because we are, wanting to be in the giving and receiving mode from the heart, giving gifts, receiving land, giving an apple, someone giving you the pen you need. But we still are enjoying the way the majority that we're projecting, that we've memorized, we're still enjoying how the giving and receiving is happening in our close proximities of our reality. So if you've released all your false belief systems and upgraded your understanding around currencies, and you're here front and center and you're still playing with them, but yet there's more that you could allow in, because your superconscious self sees one, chunk of gold and, a huge block or stacks of blocks of gold as the same. There's no like, this is greater. It's just, where are you allowing yourself to project that, where you're allowing yourself to be worthy enough to, or just pure worth? Where are you allowing yourself to realize that it's you and you're projecting this through you, for you, by you. So if you're wanting to project a lump of gold or stacks of bars of gold, it's just you getting really clear on what you're actually projecting and allowing to come in, allowing to particleize, stack up the light particles and magnetics of blocks of gold, or, in a nugget. And I'll speak to just currencies, stack up to 10,000 for you to purchase that which you are seeking, as opposed to maybe, what you already kind of go on a linear time saying, well, by the end of this month, I'll have accrued, 2,000. So you can open yourself up to greater belief systems, bigger umbrellas that say everything that I truly desire and all that I'm aligned heart and mind with, that I truly am enjoying the feeling of receiving that. I always have more than enough to go ahead and purchase the things that I want to do. If it's you up leveling what you're doing, and maybe you've been in a job that's not aligned with you, or you love your job, but yet you haven't placed, a value to it, that what it's worth for you, and what your spirit, what your consciousness at large literally lines you up when you do muscle testing or pendulum, asking consciousness at large, what is this worth to me? And how can I align to those who can receive this, who are really also finding that same value? So I like to work at it that way, like really getting, your channel clear and dialing into what is your highest potential, what is your highest potential timeline when it comes to X, Y, or Z. We're talking about finances here, and things that you desire that maybe you'd be purchasing with currencies, as well as we're also talking about possibly what you're doing for your path, or the way that you actually bring or magnetize money in. All these types of topics, finding out with yes or no questions, what is the highest and best? Let's say you're putting a monetary value to something that you want to start to receive for your services. Okay. Maybe there's a new service you want to offer that you're more heart and mind aligned with. Maybe there's you to tap into what you truly value, what you're here in this now moment as an eternal soul to be on path, to be a legacy, or a legend, to leave a legacy, whatever those things are that you are meant to be doing here. Are you lined up to that? And maybe you want to look at a parallel version of yourself in a higher, I think we had it over here, a higher parallel now of the version of you doing those details, or doing something greater that you want to visualize or tune in to see what your higher potential self wants to show you. These parallel selves, have information for us, as well as they may also be holding you back. So finding, denser or I think I had over here, we had a lower, seemingly in the past, but just let's say a lower parallel now, that I made a choice, a month ago, and it shifted. And so this other version of me is still out here doing this. I may need to tune into that parallel version of that choice shift that I made, that went off, a version of me went off and started doing the other thing. It could be also a parallel lower version, literally in another timeline and another seemingly name or body, that you're tapping into the same age. I'm 48 around the sun. Maybe there's another version of me when I was 48 that, is wanting to move forward, but yet whatever stuckness I may have pigeonholed it myself into whatever lack of self-worth or lack of confidence or not being focused on the actual path that I was meant to because I took advice from others. And then let's go into the others. Sometimes, that version of the parallel you has absorbed father or mother patterns, family, at large, aunt, uncles, grandparents, children that you had in that life or didn't have. Other things could also be affecting and keeping that version of you not moving forward. And so sometimes what happens in this now moment, you find yourself seemingly similar factors are going on to that other parallel. And no matter how much work you do on this current lifetime, for those of you who've been doing the work on yourself, something's not shifting. So what Spirit wanted me to remind you guys is you may need to be looking at these parallel versions when we go beyond time. Okay? So it's a big topic. We're going to go deeper into it at Soul School this coming Friday. At least that's what I was seeing that would be of benefit, along with some other topics I'm sure that are going to come up. But I wanted to get that to you. And then I wanted to get the message to you of Spirit was talking about the star children this rising and how star children really want us to be birthing new worlds where we aren't basing the age-old cycles of reality creation that have been dominated by us and them. So if you find yourself still in us and them or them and me or victim mentality, and you still haven't healed those understandings of how you create your reality, how your hand is involved in everything you're experiencing right now, meaning everything is through you, by you, for you. So everything that's happening, if you just take the time and sit back and say, especially if you find yourself wanting to blame or get angry or get charged up, okay, what is this really about? Why am I particleizing this experience in this way still? Why am I still a resonant match for this experience this way? How am I creating this? Where did I not forgive or hold compassion? Now, but mainly some other timeline has been rippling out, whether it's an earlier time in this lifetime or one of these parallels or a past life or a future life, we can add that in as well. But where did it conceive itself? And when you do that digging and find out why you're still a resonant match or why this is being projected for you, then when you clean that up and you rise to the occasion and you know that from this point forward, you're always going to take responsibility for reality creator. You're going to stay in the center of the driver's seat. You're going to be in the image of and be the creator self that you came here to be. This is the level up mastery of the new world as we create our reality. So what the star children were saying is that they're ready to come in. They already have been, but this message is about there's a lot more wanting to come, but they need this stuff cleaned up because they don't have time for, a bunch of years on end of doing, forgiveness work when they arrive. They don't want to counsel their parents anymore. That's what they said. They want to arrive and have caregivers, guardians who are ready to know that they're creating the world, know that if it seems similar because they've memorized everything to still look the same, that they see it differently, that they make everything work for them, that everything works out in the way that they would desire. They want to play big. They want to create more than what we've ever seen. They want to show us new tools. They want to show us our magic, our, true quantum abilities. They want us levitating. They want us teleporting. And so that requires landing in a new world. And so I was reminded, and I'm going to complete this because I got to run. I was reminded as I was leaving the park for my walk that the reason you've done all of these pulling the four corners up, the reason you did all that was not so much to teach so many people about it anymore. It's about because now you're in a new vibratory rate. Now you're in a new world. Even like I said, and maybe have some things memorized that look the same. I know that everyone's an eternal soul. I look at everybody with the soul love, and if it comes back, like I said, weird, I just go, wow, let me witness this. Let me see what this is about. Let me reparticleize it. What's right about this? How can I see this greater when I see this situation again, or when I see these cast characters again? And then it shifts. So it's and a God consciousness was also my dream, telling me about, the most important things that are going to be happening at the center and virtually, for those who want to work with me virtually, is mentorship for building out the new world. That these star children want to come in to a beautiful place that these crystalline pillars, these beautiful beings who do have new to build out, are supported, and that as a group we're supporting a new view. So I leave that with you. I hope you have an amazing day, and please leave any comments if this live had any ahas or questions. I would love to share what I hear. And